Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart and whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the link provided on Facebook and YouTube, we thank all of you for your commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, we are in the midst of our June FijiWater.com sponsored promo. So go to our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. WKAPFaith.com. The first three songs you hear at 12 noon or at 6 p.m. List those songs along with your name and your email address and text them to the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. One of our listeners and viewers will be selected to win a case of Earth's finest water from FijiWater.com. So thus far we've had, since we launched the promo that is going to run until the end of the year, it's going to run throughout the remainder of this year. We have one winner that is located in South Carolina. We had a winner that was located in Pennsylvania, and we had a winner last month that was located in New York. So we don't want anyone to miss out on the opportunity to receive Earth's finest water delivered right to your front door from FijiWater.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers, and then immediately following that one. So this is one about careers, and then not immediately, because we'll have to do a little business for our sponsors. But having said that, I'm going to address something that all of you who responded yesterday requested. I will respond to that in a moment regarding the communication that came in about someone wanting to build a better life for themselves. I'm going to address that in a moment. Before I do that, I'm just going to start with one of our listeners and viewers. You want more out of your career, you said. However, you said you're not certain what more you can do to be successful. So let me begin by this. Look at your job description and look at where you are now. That's the first thing you're going to need to do. And then as you look at your job description, if you have done your job and are doing it consistently and doing it well consistently, it's time for you to begin working above your job and your pay grade. And what I mean by that is you have to continue doing your job every day, and you know how to do your job. But now you've got to start, and I've said this long ago to people who were interested in progressing in their career. One of the things I've been telling people is you've got to look at the job above you. You've got to look at, the person you directly report to. Look at their job description. The great thing about the internet is that you can find a job description for every job that exists. You could probably find I haven't checked every job that exists, but you could probably find a job description for working in animal control. You could probably find a job for dog walker, a job description for dog walker. You could find a job description for just about anything. I won't say everything because I haven't reviewed everything. But you can find a job description for most anything on the internet. Once you have found that job description, begin doing that work. First of all, it's going to make the person you report to, it's going to help them shine. And as they elevate, hopefully they'll elevate you also, they'll pull you along. But if not, you will learn a new skill set. You will learn methods of not only managing people, but the responsibilities that go with the job above you. And begin to do some of that. You may not be able to do all of it, but you can do, and what I mean by that, not saying you don't have the capabilities, the skill set to do it. What I'm saying is they may not give you the opportunity to do it. But one of the things that you will find, I tell people this all the time, job security is doing your job. And then further job security is making your boss, for lack of a better term, their job easier. But you can't make their job easier if you don't know what their job consists of. So you have to find the little things in their job that you can do to make their life easier. And then on top of that, you've got to really look at the job description and the things that you don't have the opportunity to do. You have to go online and learn how to do them. You have to be able to really analyze what the position above you is doing so that you get a better understanding of what can be done to not only provide you with job security, but prepare you for the next level. So it's real important to do that, because even if you are not promoted right away, you will be more successful doing your job if you understand what the person you report to wants from you based on the job, their job description. So they're always, and this is good for all of our listeners and viewers, because there are always to make ourselves better. I will tell you, and I'm just going to share this with you all. So yesterday, for example, there are a lot of things on my daily calendar because I chart everything out. I have to chart it out because if I want to maximize the success, I've got to know the charted course, and I have to follow the course. So I chart everything out. So yesterday, in addition to all of the things that were on my calendar, whether they were accomplished due to my own work or whether they were something that had to be moved to another day because of someone else's schedule or their inability to accommodate my request or complete the task, I get it. Those are external factors that I don't have any control over, but I can monitor and hold others accountable. Having said that, before I started my studies yesterday evening, because I study 3 hours a day. I think I may have told everyone this, but I study the Bible 3 hours a day. And one of the things that I did, because I had this small segment of time before my studies, I went online and I literally looked at universities that will allow you to take courses free of tuition once you get to a certain age. So if you're over 60, you may want to look at that. But the reason I'm looking at that is because there's going to be a point in time that I'm going to have an opportunity to do some additional studies when I complete everything else that is going on. And it's just refresher courses. You know, I've taken online courses in theology and religious studies. And, you know, I've taken, I took a course from Yale and that was on religious studies. And from time to time you can find those, but now I want to take additional courses in, well, I'll just share in not just technology, but social networks and, you know, production and all of those things. There are colleges that will allow you to take them free of tuition when you're over a certain age, and I am a man of a certain age. So I say all of that. I'm not able to put that on my calendar right now, but I wanted to start doing the research because I had a small segment of time that was available because something didn't take up the amount of time I had allocated. I paused before my studies and I did some research on that. So I found some universities that offer what I'd like to research. I'd like to, you know, maybe take the opportunity to audit a course. There's things that you can do to improve, just to become better at everything we do. So I'm encouraging you to do what you're doing in the sense of not being satisfied with where you are in your career right now. Be content. Remember, Paul said in all things, be content, right? Where you are right now, but don't become stagnant. So you've got to continue. And the way to do that is to look at your job description, do your job, and if you've done your job and you're doing your job effectively and efficiently, begin to work above. Begin to work above your job. Add some things into the equation based on the job above you so that you can enhance your skill set. And you can enhance your performance. We all should want to perform at the highest level. Now, this is going to take me into the next communication about establishing a better life for ourselves. But before we do that, this segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address what our listeners and viewers from yesterday sent in to me, making some very specific requests. So I'm really delighted that all of you were excited about the broadcast yesterday and about the topic that I addressed for one of our listeners and viewers who said you wanted to establish a better life for yourself. So before I go into this, because this is going to take up the remainder of the broadcast based on your questions and requests and comments. So I want to say this. This segment of the broadcast is going to be brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. So if you are in the market for a high-performance automobile, one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will have the opportunity to virtually build out the Porsche you desire to own. And if you're in our area, you can simply go to PorscheDelaware.com, ask to speak to Mike Didio, who is the general manager at PorscheDelaware.com. He will have someone assist you in selecting the Porsche you desire to own. And if you currently own a Porsche and are in need of service, enjoy the service that I enjoy consistently at PortiaDelaware.com by contacting Mike Adams, who is the service manager. He will have someone assist you in scheduling an appointment. They will pick up your vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner vehicle to you, and return your vehicle to you when your service has been completed at PortiaDelaware.com. Okay, so for all of our listeners and viewers, yesterday you jumped right on what I went over yesterday for our listener and viewer who wanted to establish a better life for yourself. Okay. And you all said, well, you said do a SWOT analysis. I told you, what a SWOT analysis consists of. We all know it's your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. We all have them. However, you must know yourself. So you were asking, well, how do I know what my strengths are? How do I know what my weaknesses are? So let me say this. The strengths that you have are the things that you can do basically on automatic pilot. So the strengths that you have are, for example, I'll use taking care of your body. Okay. So, whether I was at the gym yesterday morning, I went through my normal workout routine. One of the things that I did yesterday is I increased my weight, but only to a point where I would not have to decrease my reps. Now, a lot of people do different things. So my strength is that I can do my normal routine. I can do the same number of sets, the same number of reps on all of the equipment. I could do that because that's a strength. Increasing the weight was to push myself and determine my weakness. And what I mean by that is, if I increase the weight, would I have to decrease my reps? And if so, how can I strengthen myself to a point where I can increase the weight and not have to decrease my reps? Then you have to look at your opportunities. What can I do differently that will enhance my body, for example? And what are the threats to that? The threats are injuries. I don't want to, I don't want to hurt myself, but I want to push myself. I want to maximize my ability to improve my body. And what that means is I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to, walk into a room and everybody thinks that I'm all that. All I want to do is be healthy. And so I'm working on my health and wellness. And then your mind. So what's the strength of my mind? There are certain things that I know, numbers I know. But there are things that I desire to know, and I talked about that a little earlier, about researching colleges and universities that will allow me to take courses tuition free, because I'm fiscally responsible. Listen, one of the things that I've realized is that we've paid our dues when we get to a certain age. And there are opportunities out there. We've been functioning members of society. We've been people who have been pouring into our society just as our society has poured into us. Now is the time where they're offering certain things to seniors to keep our mind healthy, to allow us to really continue to participate in our society. That's the strength, is that my mind is healthy. But the weakness is I don't know many things about technology and production, so I need to learn those things. There's opportunities out there. So there's colleges and the universities that say if you're over 60, you can take certain courses without tuition costs. You just have to be responsible for the textbooks. You have to be responsible for anything that, all those minor fees, but you don't have to be responsible for the tuition or now even the housing, because you can study online. The threats are that I don't let it interfere with anything else that I have to do to accomplish God's will in my life. So you've got to look at all those components. And then, but you've got to know yourself so that you can move forward. And then all of you were talking about the smarter goals. You said, Pastor, some of you said this to me in different words, but it boiled down to the same things. You told us about SMARTER goals. You told us what SMARTER goals are. Can you give us a little more information about those SMARTER goals? So some of you may be new listeners and viewers. If you go back to YouTube, the Daily Divine Direction channel, the broadcasts are archived in perpetuity, but so you don't have to do that again today, I'm going to go through them again. So SMARTER goals are this, and I'm going to tell you how and what they mean to us. The S is specific. So you never want to set vague goals. You want to make certain that your goals are very specific. You got to know what you want to accomplish, and you've got to determine the steps that it takes to get there. So you've all heard me talk about the 7-year plan, the 14-year plan, and the 21-year plan. It's all about being specific. If nothing else, you make 3 bullet points per year for what you want to accomplish personally and what you want to accomplish professionally. I recommend that you do that per quarter, because then you're constantly working. You're constantly trying to improve. You're constantly trying to meet your goals, which takes us to the next thing. Your goal has to be measurable, so you're always looking at the progress you make. What progress am I making each step of the way? And that's why I say to everyone, you should really chart it out by quarter. But if you're not going to chart it out by quarter, at least you've got to know what you want to accomplish every year. So let me give you some examples, because you asked for examples. So let's say that you want to get promoted in 3 years. Well, you have to, that's specific, but what steps do you need to take to accomplish that for 3 years? Then you've got to measure your progress. You've got to measure the feedback that you've been getting from the person you report to directly. You've got to measure the feedback you're getting in your annual review, and you have to hold yourself accountable for the things that need to be, whether they need to be corrected or whether they need to be enhanced. Because maybe you don't need correction, maybe you just need enhancement. Maybe you just need to make some additional progress in what you've already been doing. And then you have to make your goals. The A is achievable. So the S is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable. You have to make sure that you can achieve your goals. Your capable skill set. Do you have the skill set to achieve your goals? If not, what can you do to improve your skill set? Has it been done before, and what was the methodology to accomplish that? What resources do you have to make it achievable? And then the R is relevant. Is it already present in your personal or professional life? Is it relevant to what you're doing? I used this example long ago. I am a clergy, a pastor. We are operating a local church, International Ministries, Community Development Corporation. I'm not going to be a neurosurgeon. I'm not going to pursue going back to school, going to medical school, and becoming a neurosurgeon. I'm not going to do that. So that can't be part of my SMARTER goals. It has to be relevant. Is it something that's already present in my personal life or your professional life? So I said, I'm a clergy, I'm a pastor. What impact am I having on the lives of others? How can I move people forward to the purpose that God has appointed for their lives? What can I help them to do to enhance their professional or entrepreneurial lives? Those are the things that have to be relevant. And you've got to make sure you make the main thing the main thing. And then the T is for time-bound or deadlines. You time deadlines. Keep a sense of urgency on the journey. You don't want to let life set deadlines for you. You want to set self-imposed deadlines. And if you don't meet those deadlines, remain accountable for them. You've got to eliminate procrastination. You've got to say and listen, every deadline you set is not going to be met. You may have to move it out to a further time because there will be priorities that will take place. And you have to be able to identify that, eliminate the procrastination, but hold yourself, remain accountable for the timeline. Keep a sense of urgency, and keeping a sense of urgency simply means working every single day to accomplish the next goal. Then the E is for evaluate. You have to evaluate where you are. What goals have you accomplished each year? You can celebrate them, and I'm not talking about going wild. I'm talking about just taking a pause and saying, thank you, God, for giving me the health and strength to accomplish this goal. If it's a major goal, you may even want to sit down with your spouse or your significant other, break bread, discuss it, talk about it, talk about how thankful you are to be able to accomplish that goal. But you have to do that each year. You have to evaluate. And I encourage everyone, this is what I always say. One of the things that we did when I was in the corporate world before I became a clergy is that we had what was called a monthly management report. Okay, so, in management, you always look at what you've accomplished every month. So that was the MMR. Then we had what was called a QMR, quarterly management report. What was accomplished by your team quarterly? And then there's an AMR, annual management report. What did we accomplish this year? You have to evaluate that every single year. And then the R is to reflect and revise. Why did some methods not work? What revisions can you make that will result in success? So you have to reflect and revise. You have to really be honest with yourself, and don't let yourself off the hook because something good happened, but you have to say, okay, this is my time to reflect on what didn't work, and have I done it long enough consistently for it to work? And then what revisions can I make that will result in success or bring it to a successful resolution? That's got to be an ongoing process. Those are smarter goals. And then, as you all have heard me say, your 7-year plan, what do you want to accomplish personally and professionally? 3 bullet points, preferably quarterly, but certainly every year. Then repeat that for your 14-year plan and your 21-year plan and make revisions that have occurred along the way. If there's something that has occurred along the way that requires you to revise your plan going forward, make the revisions, make the inclusions. And you'll find that you're able to really, really maximize the quality of life that you will build. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Comcast Business. Listen, we all need to be more effective and efficient in life, and certainly in business. Comcast Business gives you the opportunity to accomplish just that. Call Eunice at Comcast Business at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope, and with a qualifying gig bundle, you will receive an $800 prepaid Visa gift card. Contact Eunice at Comcast Business at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope. I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, remember that we are in the process of our June FijiWater.com sponsor promo. Go to our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. The first 3 songs you hear at 6 p.m. and at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. List those 3 songs along with your name and your email address. Text them to the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. One of our listeners and viewers will be selected to win a case of Earth's Finest Water from FijiWater.com. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by our sponsor, Nike Golf. If you are in the market for golf attire, equipment, go to Nike Golf. Go to Nike.com. In the search bar, type in the word golf. And you will see everything Nike has to offer you to experience a great game, a great golf outing. Or if you're just in need of athletic gear or equipment, go to Nike.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your health and wellness at Nike.com. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast, 3D, has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front